It's the Cable League. MTGO Show.
My god. I think there's more blue elementals than white, so I guess I'll grab a Mox Sapphire Hum. Omnath is in the cube. There are more white ones. I was super wrong. Risen Reef is still the colors that we want to cut, though. Since Reef is, like, the only real payoff, I think it makes sense to try and build towards that. Just going to take a Mana Leak here. The Canopy wouldn't be crazy. Yeah, I think Grief's the only black elemental. Caryatid, that could be good. This little mana fixer. Especially if we end up 4+ colors. Well, there's Omnath, huh? I guess we're taking Omnath. Alright, we got an Omnath. We need a Risen Reef. We need some clones. Ancient Tomb is not very elemental friendly. Coalition Relic is. And there's also a Phantasmal Image here. Yeah, building towards Risen Reef, I want to take this image. Coalition Relic would make sense. Teferi would make sense. Foundation Breaker, technically an elemental. I think there's a reasonable chance it wheels. And I think Phantasmal Image plus Reef is better than Breaker plus Reef. So I'm trying to, like, pop off and make elementals look good. I'm not just trying to take, like, every card that literally says elemental and shove it in a deck, right? Image also plays very, very well with the comes into play elementals like Fury and Solitude. Escape doesn't seem like a bad card with Omnath Hum. Timeless Dragon could be fixing. Voice of Resurgence, not terrible. I'm passing up some good Omnath cards, right? A Triland and a Wrenn and 6. Image plays kind of well with Voice of Resurgence. Probably the token it makes, maybe. Fabled Passage is a sort of fetch land for Omnath. Not a very good one, but it is one. Thinking about Ignoble Hierarch. Just take like an actual good card. Nissa does make elemental tokens. Doesn't really matter. Get some nice fixing here. That Temple Garden's mighty tempting. Give me the Temple Garden. Sanctum, nice. Let's see if we can wheel. We did wheel the Foundation Breaker, nice. So we got 3 elementals out of pack 1 in a cube that's got like, what, 10 elementals in it or something? I think we're doing pretty well here. Oh shit, what up? Hey, DePrince, thanks for the sub. Thanks for 68 months. You don't think Showdown's good? I think Showdown's good. We just already had the escape. You don't want too much of that, right? 14 elementals. I'm not counting the elemental lands. Is it still 14? Some real interesting lands here. And then Noble Hierarch's mighty tempting. I think I'm going to take this Vista. 14 and not counting lands. Gotcha, gotcha. Poor Pyroglyph. That's another card that plays well with Image. Yeah, I'm looking at Spara's Headquarters. I'm looking at Volcanic. I think I'm just going to take that Volk. Just going to take that good duel. The elemental lands are just creature lands. Like Tar Pit and stuff. Oh yeah, Pyro Dragon. You're partial to Goyf, but not for name-related reasons. What's up, Doczillo? You said the mana's starting to feel nice, Scott the Third? Yeah. Yeah, not the worst. If we could get a fetch that hits both Volk and Temple, I'll be pretty happy. No elementals here. Titania does spit out elemental tokens, though. In a way that's, like, pretty good with Reef, right? I'd love to grab that Fractured Identity. It's definitely the best card in our colors. But I'm going to take the Titanium. Bit more on Stip, Yeah, if only she was an elemental, too. Oh, well. Nobody's perfect. Hey, Dragonheart, thanks for the sub. Thanks for 82 months. God, Fable's so good. I think I want the Savannah over it, but I really do want the Fable. And there's a Thundering Falls in there, too. Yeah, give me the Fable, actually. Fable could be another thing that can copy Reef. Oh, shit, what up? Hey, Little Donnie, thanks for the sub. Thanks for 31 months. Yeah, we already have Temple Gardens. Maybe I need Savannah a little bit less, Plus, Fable kind of helps fix, too. If we had the Reef, I'd be really high on this Green Sun Zenith to just always have it in play. I think I'm going to grab this Colonnade. Just make sure our 4-color mana base works. I don't need the Talisman. I don't need the Sylvan Library. Chariot could give me more elemental tokens. Like, it pairs well with Titania and with Voice of Resurgence, I'll grab the Talisman. This thing makes Rebel tokens. Worthless. The Oliphant, Tutors for Volcanic. Simple Cliches, wondering if I go do reviews of Vintage Cube games. Oh, you just want someone to go over your games and give you notes. I would do that. It's probably more than you want to pay though for my time. And I don't really know anyone else that does it off the bat, but I'm sure most creators would. Wow, Noble Herrick Wield. I love that nobody else wants Once Upon a Time. We get Savannah or Thundering Falls. I also take the Savannah just because it's untapped. Really easy to end up with too many comes to play tapped lands in this cube. And the Sylvan Library and the Treachery Wheel. Jeez. So I'm getting the last pick Treachery there. Risen Reef versus Recall. Reef might draw us more cards. Currently, we need more fetches for this Titanium. This Titanium to just be like pretty reasonable. Yeah, no elementals here. Let's grab Stomping Ground. We are in Booster 3, so we do need, you know, enough playables to have a functioning deck, which we don't currently have. We're in 4 colors, though. It shouldn't be that hard. I think I could afford to take the Tundra. Staff of the Storyteller plays pretty well with our cards. I think I'm just grabbing Questing Beast. Yeah, the Triome and the Steam Vents would be good. Ocelot Pride plays pretty well with, like, Titania tokens and Voice of Resurgence tokens. We're not going to overthink it. We're just going to take the Minskin Boo. And be glad there's not an elemental in the pack. Here's a spot where an elemental would have been quite nice, though. Yeah, we don't quite have the fetches and searches for the Brainstorm to be good. I'm looking at, like, this Unholy Heat or maybe Manamorphose. Yeah, right? Where's the Risen Reef? Would really bring the deck together. I guess I'm going to take a Leyline Binding. It'll be a 2-mana card in this deck, but that's not bad, right? I think the instant speed nature of it makes it better than Prismatic Ending. Alright, this is Hogwash. Hogwash, I say. I guess I'm just grabbing Lotus Cobra. Yeah, full-on Malarkey. Maybe the Proving Ground is better than the Cobra. How many playables do I still need? 3? Yeah, it's not going to be hard, right? There's a couple elementals here. I guess I want Nissa, Revengevine, and Beza. The only time we can trigger it to tutor up an elemental card, though, is with our 1 fetch land, the Prismatic Vista. A little awkward. And the Titania is only working with the 1 Vista, too. Yeah, plenty of playables. Escape to the Wilds could trigger it. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I think it would have been real exciting to Phantasmal Image a Reef. I think if Reef had been open, we would have gotten it, but not every card gets opened. Just part of playing the cube. I think that means we cut the image. Yeah, another relic would have been interesting for sure. Hum-dum-dum-dum. Hard to figure out what our worst card is here. Oh, this is the 3-bit inspector. We can cut that. Cool. That was really easy. He's a pretty busy guy. J-Bro actually has a job. I've got a job, friend. How dare you? How dare you? He's got a job with a house with like 7 kids in it right now, though, so. Am I a Belatar fan? Who's that? Was she a security personnel on Star Trek The Next Generation? You're starting MTG. Should you play Moto or Arena? It depends on what you're looking for. It depends on what formats you're looking to play. If you're like literally fresh to MTG and you haven't picked an affinity for the formats that you like and stuff, then you should probably start with Arena. It's got a more of a free-to-play angle to it. Magic Online, the client I'm using here, I prefer for a lot of different reasons. It's a lot closer to paper play. But in order to get access to all the cards, you have to use a rental service, one of which I am sponsored by. There's a link to Mana Traders in the stream description if you want to check them out. Or buy all the cards, or what have you. Similar to in paper play, right? The benefit being that you can cash out at some point. But that's less of a benefit if you're just starting fresh. And then you also get access to all the sweet formats that are on Magic Online that aren't on Arena. Vintage Cube being one of them. But also Legacy and Modern. But if you weren't already interested in those formats, I just straight up wouldn't bother. If you're just starting. It is Comlin, yeah. Unless you just want to buy a bunch of ticks and Jam Cube. Alright, my opponent that has not done something since this Thoughtseize almost assuredly has something, I don't know if I'm just supposed to play the Voice of Resurgence to make it like really awkward to do stuff on my turn. I don't care about that. If you start Moto, there's some entry-level events that you can join if you're literally just starting. But you will probably get crushed pretty hard, regardless of which client you join. You remember when this is a Momir stream? We did some Momir the other day. For a while there was only single limb Vintage Cube drafts. And so we did a little bit of Momir to kill time in between rounds and stuff. Sure. I always feel like those questions are like a, I don't know, like an advertisement for a brand. Just get people talking about the pros and cons. They're not, obviously. It's a totally reasonable question. It just always like gives me that vibe. Usually the like indie games that try and run that stuff, just like will actually just drop a link into your chat. I think chumping is okay. I think not chumping is also on okay. It's like right on the edge there. I think we're gonna get some more cards in play though. I think we're gonna make this Voice of Resurgence token pretty good, either with Shorikai activations or what have you. I mean, it's better to keep the Voice of Resurgence around just to make sure they can't counter my Shorikai for free this next turn. Yeah, so I don't chump with the Voice of Resurgence. I guess we force them to get Thoughtseize instead of Counterspell here. It'd be a lot better. Probably a bad chump. They read about Thoughtseize anyway. Well, maybe they have another Counterspell anyway. A Viewers Union. Possibly I should have discarded this Mox Sapphire. That's what I was originally planning on doing. I think there's a good chance I end up double spelling next turn, though. Caleb's had it too good for too long. You're probably right about that, Wavelink. About time someone or some group took me down to size. Right, Pyro Dragon? That's why I made that chump initially, but I think it was a turn too soon, that's all. Yeah, I was worried about flyers coming down for some reason. Flyers or Trinemes or what have yous. You think Caleb hasn't had it good enough for long enough? Oh no, the union's crumbling. That was fast. You see how this Mox Sapphire ended up being good after all. I'm just going to serve him with QB. There's a risk, if you serve with this elemental token, there's a risk of them having like a Fatal Push type card to shrink your board and then get to eat the elemental for free. Not a huge risk, but them only having one card, and it was probably going to be a fine attack. Shorikai could serve in next turn if we wanted to. Love that, Treskies. Did you remember to mind your own business today? The dentist can remind me to floss in our once every 5 years meetup. That's where I get my shaming. It's never too early or late to care about gum health. You're eating stuffed crust pizza. I had stuffed crust pizza for dinner last night. It was terrible. Right, Broken Pipe? Terrible in a good way? No, mostly just bad. It was, in fact, delivery. I think DiGiorno would have been slightly better. Yeah, do I want to serve with this or not, Tom? That's the real question this turn. I think we activate this turn. I had a game recently where I had the White Virtue in play, and so every turn I would activate Shorikai and then crew it, so it would untap with the Virtue and all the things that are crewing it. It was kind of sick. Super lost that game. Cool. What even happened that game? I just like flailed around and played value cards until we won. Very hard to beat an active Shorokai, huh? The opponent was doing a pretty good job until we untapped with Shorokai for like 5 turns. New Zealand, not a place for good pizza. Noted. Even St. Louis has some good pizza. Highly recommend Pies Pizza if you're ever in St. Louis. It's like a Chicago-style deep dish. And they have thin crust too, obviously, as every deep dish place has. But they got a really interesting crust. Yeah, what's special about their dough? They use something. I'm getting hungry for pies. I clicked the menu and it just gives me a bunch of pictures. What is the menu button not working? This? Is this here? And nothing does anything. All right, never mind. No blue mana for this preordain. I guess we just keep anyway. Closed for business will do that. It's a chain. There's like 4 or 5 of them, Malak. They're not all closed. Hey, Mean Bean, thanks for the sub. Thanks for 47 months. OMG, it's Vintage Caleb. You know it. Azela with a 20-month sub saying anything from Modern H3 that looks good. That looks sweet and cube. From MH3? Yeah, there's a few cards, huh? The new Ajani has been one of my favorite additions. I really like the new Goyfs that got added as well. I'm a little worried about a turn 2 Seed Shark here. Yeah, Power Goyf is my favorite. But Burrow Goyf is really, really strong too. Interesting no serve there from the Seed Shark. Should Frog be banned in Legacy? Probably. Fucking Dreadhorde's banned. What is the furthest I've made it? Huh? In what context? Sir Nimley is curious if they should be banned in Legacy. I thought you already were, Sir Nimley, for power level reasons. Have I made it? I made it far enough. Top couple thousand Twitch streamers. Fine for me. I'm not greedy. I guess I don't need this. Opponent's got some nice pressure now. And we know they have another mana leak in hand. Because that Eternal Witness. Yeah, the Ignoble was tempting. I think I've got to jam Minsk and Boo into the counter. I think they just don't counter Titanium because it doesn't do anything here. And I think I need Omnath to stabilize after I've taken some hits. The other line is to like flail around with Expressive here, which is fine. Yeah, to the surprise of nobody hum. How do the 64 persons differ from regular draft? They're a lot more competitive, and then yeah, the fact that they're pod play Means you should be hating a little bit and thinking about like what answers you've seen to your deck archetype. Your sideboard matters a little bit more. Be a fine choice for the turn, Jackal Lamon, in comparison to getting Minsk and Boo mana linked, right? Neither are great. But when you're deliberating your options, you gotta choose something. Hey, that resolved. That's nice. Well, that relieves a ton of pressure, huh? Cognivore is terrible. I'm pretty sure Cognivore saw constructed play. Is that the instant one or the sorcery one? I mean, I think they both did. Yeah, so Cognivore was an oath hit in, I think, standard or extended. And the whole deck was a bunch of like counters and card draw and like moments pieces. Anyway, I think that was the only constructed deck I saw Cognivore in. Yeah, the only reason I remember it is because a buddy had it put together. It didn't win very much, but it made him happy. What else can you ask for, right? What else can you ask for him? Should I attack? The thing is, like, if they triple block, then I have to burn a Leyline Binding on just hitting a stupid token. I'm just gonna pass. Borderline a good attack, though. 8 out of 14 Lurgoyfs saw tournament play. Should we, like, make it a mission? And let the other ones get the other ones in? What is the list? This one did, this one did. Someone has to have tried Cantivore, right? This one did. This one did. I don't remember Detritivore. I think I saw it as a sideboard card. Sideboard. Just the worst sideboard card of all time. I don't think you count Altar of the Goyf as a Lurgoyf. I could have sworn I saw people trying out Necrogoyf. Goyf in like stacks, or not stacks, but rack type stuff. That one saw constructed play. That one did. Nest isn't one. I don't think I've seen Polygoyf. What the fuck is this? That art is sick. Trample Myriad, whatever it tanks for each. Oh, it's the commander thing. Yeah, I think the number is over 14. Or over, what did you say it was? 8 out of 14. I think the number is over 8. Green Sun X equals 3. Oh, they have a Haywire Might that can dance with the Leyline Binding. I just gave him a card for free. Just for funsies. Pretty bad. Oh, they're scooping? I think they were actually favored here. Like, they sack the Haywire Might to hit the Leyline Binding. The Titania does nothing. I have no lands. I've just got a 5/3 and a 4/4. Might be a good idea to ditch out a smidge early today. Without wrecked my my back got from rock climbing. I still feel good for now, though. Just not going to push myself. One issue with playing the Sanctum on 2 is if I play the Savannah on 2, then I can go Proving Ground into 1 mana Leyline next turn. But I mean, these two are just like 4 colors already. Should I just binding that fucking coat? I was putting on Sylvan Library in this turn, but this feels like a pretty reasonable use of a Leyline binding. It'll feel silly when the Tinker Blight's still here, but then next turn we can go Sanctum, Talisman, Sylvan Library. F that code? Yeah, F that code right in the code hole. Which one of the code holes? Why not a new one? Daddy's gonna make some new pockets. Caleb, this conversation's weird. What are you doing, Caleb? Yeah, I like heat clearing the Malcolm. Base is literally just a 4/5 here. I guess I get him life, huh? Can we get back to talking about shirts and gum health? We can talk about shirts. Has anyone here bought a nice shirt that they particularly are fond of recently? Any purchases? Any shirt purchases y'all excited about? The Deep V shirts? No, I'm not. I usually just jam Hawaiian shirts. I mean, y'all see how I dress on stream. Right now I'm just wearing a fucking robe, but I like colorful Hawaiian shirts. You got some Into the AM shirts? I've never heard of that. I do not dress as extra fancy for you. I literally, yeah, I stream it like X days of the week or whatever. I'm not putting on airs. Just wear what I wear. Into the AM. Don't give me a pop up. Don't do that. I was checking out what you got. Oh, kind of cool. Kind of cool printing. You said they're super comfy. Good looking graphics. Bestsellers. I must conform. Yeah, it doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad. You got a Baby Metal concert shirt from their first New York concert. Very cool. They do deals with streamers a lot. Oh, yeah? I think I gotta get my block on here. Be nice to have something to pressure that Wander, but I think I just gotta get my block on. Yeah, it sounds sick, Chief. 007 Nolade Bought a cool shirt from drawingsbytrent.com. Through Trent's unmistakable art, we want to encourage families, educate communities, and inspire everyone. We also want to give Trent an outlet for his talent. Oh, very cool. Oh, man. I bet my nephew would look adorable in this. Family affair focused on providing for Trent's future while encouraging families, educating communities, and encouraging everyone through Trent's art. Very cool. Drawingsbytrent.com. Ooh, that's terrible for me. Did to the Flyers. Beza has exceeded your expectations in Cube? Really? You are the first person I've heard that. I've been impressed by that card. Have I played Ghostfire Slice since it was added to the Cube? Yeah, I mean, it's good at popping multicolored planeswalkers. I've had the colorless nature of it actually be a negative. It is good versus Mother of Runes, though. The fact that it doesn't pitch to Fury, right? Could hold up Mana Leak on turn 2. I think versus this opponent, it's better to hold up the Mana Leak later. Just get the staff down now. But yeah, one mana answer to Oko, or well, not Oko necessarily, but like the Somnath or Nadu or what have you. No, I can't activate the staff. Perfect. Not a bad little oust. Now they're missing a land drop. Oh, they did not. Foundation Breaker is not amazing in this matchup. We didn't really see any key targets for it. It is an elemental, though. Hard to cut. Hard to cut our few elementals. If I didn't have the heat handy, I would not have just let that one resolve, right? But now I have the Monarch. That seems good, right? Seems good for me. We can kind of protect it with this Mana Leak here. Right? I was so ready to Mana Leak anything that costs 4 mana Martin Smash. And I was like, wait a minute. We'll let that one resolve. No, your comment was perfect, Martin. I haven't drawn off staff yet. You need white mana to draw off staff. So the Noble Hair got ousted, and then I replayed it and had to attack with it. Not a bad little Minsk here. Yeah, the Minsk and the Shurikai can trigger staff. Yeah, we played the staff easily enough off that early Noble Hierarch, right? But then when he got ousted, it delayed our gratification, our staffification. Graphification. Why am I trying so hard to make that work? Thinking about a mountain versus a plains here. I think we can grab the mountain. Oh, we have the vault. We have a second red source in hand. All right, I got the plains. Not a big deal either way. Slice being a straight upgrade to Char and still being medium's kind of fucked up. I don't think it is a straight upgrade to Char. I've had a lot of decks where I'd prefer to have Char. Basically any deck with Fury in it. Which sounds niche, but I mean, every time I'm drafting red, I want to have Fury in my deck, right? And this cube has Pyrokinesis too. Oh shit, what up? Hey, Pasta T, thanks for 65 months. How we do with the land deck? I don't remember. We didn't scrub and we didn't 3-0. I think we went 2-1. I think we went infinite on the final turn in the fast spawn mirror. Oh shit, what up? Hey, Steam Boy, thanks for the sub, thanks for 13 months. I thought about attacking first to see if they like blocked weird and give me a mince down tick for lethal. But none of it made any sense to me, so I just did the intuitive pump boost serve thing. Yeah, in that first match, Thrift and Mitch. How often is Slice 1 mana? Very rarely. I have gotten got by it before, though. My Omnaths and what's. Sure. When the best answer possible isn't even close. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick while we're in sideboarding. Ooh. A mulligan. Kind of close with the Once Upon a Time. Try and keep it. Let's keep it. Come on. Why shouldn't I keep it? I deserve 7. I deserve 7 cards. Hell yeah, Van Wedge. I think we just chill. Just gotta make sure to play this Once Upon a Time before we play the Mana League come. Simple cliche says, is it to be assumed that when you're not stip drafting, you're drafting the best deck you can? No, Simple. So a big difference between me like tryharding and doing a regular stream is I'm more likely to try something exciting when I'm streaming. Try something wild. More likely to experiment. And if I've just drafted like a really good red-black deck, I'm very unlikely to draft another red-black deck immediately. If I was going to find out what the best archetype in the cube was and just force it over and over and over again, things would get stale pretty quickly, right? We actually had a season a few seasons ago where I thought that Naya aggro and artifacts were so much better than the other archetypes that a few of my viewers got sick of me. Sick of me jamming them so often. I was having fun, though. Usually the main reason, though, is to switch things up is to keep myself entertained, too. Because if I get bored, the stream gets boring. Those are the two most fun decks. That's how I feel about a B-word. I'm kind of trying to like bait out interaction before I jam the Minskin Boob. Maybe that's wrong. Tony Scapone, thanks for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. How's your stream, Tony? Tony's usually jamming some sweet, sweet legacy brews, so quite an enjoyable streamer. I don't think I want to play this Tundra this turn. I think I want to Temple Garden out the Ignoble. I guess I could have Temple, Tundra, and Talisman out the Ignoble. Maybe that would have been better. On a 32-4 run with the Epic Gamble. Oh, wild. 32-4 is nuts. I don't think I've had a run like that in Legacy. Not online, anyway. It's got 4 cards in hand. I don't think I'm playing this Titania. Mostly because it doesn't do anything here. I'm also not sure if I should like serve at the Wandering Emperor and then when they double block, bolt a token. Maybe it's the turn I'm supposed to be landing Minskin Boom. I think you run into No More Lies now, though, now that you started playing stuff. Maybe I am just supposed to jam Titanium. Yeah, just play on my value, Free card, yeah, right? Free card. My card that I was like almost borderline not even gonna play because it's not that good in my deck. And this would have been like a vanilla 5/3. Got a No More Lies out of their hand. That feels pretty good. Yeah, not bad at all. We have so much more mana than the opponent. Even if we like trade off cards, my Colonnade looks a lot more active than theirs. Feels better than landing it, right? Eating the counter. It does. It does kind of feel better. I especially like that I like called the No More Lies. All right, I'm gonna lead on Minsk. Get the old Dubs Exalted going. Heck yeah. Okay, we borderline have some kill pressure going now, huh? Between the Boo, the Colonnade, the Minsk downtick or uptick. Like even if they played a sweeper here, right? We'd still like 8 them down to 3. You got some teriyaki rice. That sounds dope, Ender. All right, you're at 3. Your turn. Did I have to pick every elemental I saw or build a functional deck with elemental tribal as the theme? So the person that donated just said elementals, so I kind of left it up to my discretion. I tried to make the best elemental deck that I could. There was one, which meant that there was one point that I actually passed this foundation breaker for a clone effect. With the idea being that if I'd found Risen Reef, a clone effect would have given me a much better like elemental deck by cloning Reef and getting multiple Reef triggers going and stuff. And there was a good chance the Foundation Breaker would wheel, but I think that was the only pick that went differently. Every other time we saw an elemental, I think we just took it. Ooh, love that cookie. Some beef stroganoff from the slow cooker. I actually had some beef stew the other day that was freeze dried. I got in this nice little this tiny little kettle for heating up water while you're camping. So I was just heating up like freeze dried meals. That was pretty good. Pretty reasonable stuff. Those Mountain House meals. I've tried like 3 of them so far. And one of them was absolutely atrocious. And the other 2 were pretty good. So overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's going to become a hiking/camping staple for me. Just so easy, right? Just heating up a thing of water and pouring it right in. Try them. If you're giving them a strong recommendation, I'll give them a shot next time. Having a good tactical spork is mandatory, yeah? By K-Bar? I think so. No. By Tapirus. Oh, this is the... Yeah, I got a 2-package one. Pretty cheap. Pretty reasonable. Yeah, right, Mr. Burgundy? I really need to actually learn how to use the fucking Ferro Rod. Every time I've tried to use a Ferro Rod, I've just been a massive failure. I need to invest some time into that, so it's actually a useful feature. Because if I was like lost and had to make fire with that thing, it would be super worthless to me. When I was a small child, I had flint and steel, and I managed to start a fire with it like literally once. But that was decades and decades ago. Bringing fire starter cubes in the pack. Oh yeah, the fire starter cubes are basically cheating, Very aptly named. That seems like something I do not want to resolve. God, imagine if I just like slammed Shorekai next turn and they just stole it. That would have been brutal. I am just gonna slam it here. When you're a Boy Scout, you used gasoline to start fires? Oh, yeah. No. Well, I guess I can binding their binding. My binding costs fucking 4 mana right now, though. I need another land type or 2 in play. Maybe I can preordain into a... Maybe just playing this is fine. Let's lead on the preordain. I'm just gonna bottom. Alright. I shall bind your binding. Do I keep track of my win rate? Not really. After every season, I do go through. Well, most seasons, not all of them. Most of the time, after the season is over, I'll go through my match history on Magic Online, and then calculate my win rate all at once. See how well I did on the season. I had one season recently that surprised me, where I had like a stupid number of my trophy rate was really good, but my win rate was actually in the low 60s, which is about as low as it gets. And then a really good season, I'm up there like 74 or 75% for Vintage Cube. So if you go here to game history, you can just like figure out where Vintage Cube started and just like go through, ignore the single limb ones, right? And just like go through the whole thing. And then you keep track of the match wins and the match losses, do the math. Yeah, right, Vandwedge. It's certainly better. It's certainly better to get more 3-0s. Does MTGO still track Elo? It does. It was on that page that I was just at. Up here along the top. It doesn't show it to your opponents anymore, but you can take a look-see here if you want. I need to play more Constructed on this account. I've been crushing lately, but I've been playing too much on my Daybreak account. I should see what the Constructed rating is on that. Wait, so why'd the tokens stay around? I thought they'd be exiles. Oh, you have to pay energy equal to its mana value. Gotcha. This board's starting to get scary, huh? I almost need like a sweeper. Maybe I was supposed to search for Omnath. No point to ratings, just bragging rights. No, the only point to ratings is the only point that was ever really intended, where you can glance at it and get a rough idea of how well you've been doing recently. I think Elo himself said that it was about as useful for gauging skill as gauging the level of an ocean, as it's like rocking a cork up and down on some giant waves. Heat's not bad. I just don't have any red mana now. Pretty close to just dying, huh? Opponent's Hellbent. 3, 4, 5, 6. Got a lot going on over there. I can make a flyer next turn. Do have 6 card types in the bin. Wait, am I just dead from this thing? I think I'm just dead here. Because they copy the bird, and then I'm taking 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm taking 8 in the air. Yeah, the lack of red mana ended up burning me this game, Or maybe I should have tried to triple block this thing the other turn. Maybe that would have saved me. Because the heat's large enough to actually like pop that 3/5, and then I would have had Colonnade here. More flyers coming up. Damn. Elo's a pretty useful chess measurement. I mean, I was quoting the person who invented it for chess. He did not think it was that useful. Not a very precise measurement. You were getting an estimation of someone's recent performance. No more, no less, right? because it's very much weighted towards your recent finishes every time. You can like do poorly in one tournament and just like tank your elo rating. And that doesn't mean that you're like on average a 1200 player or whatever, right? Just because you like absolutely just bomb one tournament, had a bad day. Similarly, if you like get a couple nice upsets and you play against like only really strong rated opponents and you manage to skyrocket, that doesn't suddenly make you a GM or what have you. That's why the emphasis is on recent. That's what you're looking at. And chess uses elo for like doing pairing stuff and whatever, but you could use a variety of different things, right? It's going to be useful because they've chosen to use it for all that. Whatever they chose to value would be useful. Yeah, I'm literally just quoting the guy that created the elo system. I don't really need to. I don't really feel like going back and forth forever on it, getting lost in those particular weeds. Getting tempoed the fuck out here. Some Omnath triggers would do a whole lot. This deck sure feels a lot better when it's triggering Omnath. Still no red source. Last game we were stifled on red mana too. At least we hit here though. We just scryed 4 more towards a red. Still no red. Yeah, I think we're just like losing two games in a row in the same way. Currently, like even if I hit a red source next turn, I still wouldn't be able to go like Omnath, gain life. So I need to go like red source, then Unholy Heat the Fairy Mastermind, let the opponent draw a card, or like try and slam Minsc and Boom. And then the turn after, I'd have to go Omnath into land drop before I'd start stabilizing my life total. Oh, that's not bad, huh? That's not bad at all. Only 2 card types in the bin. Heat now looking amazing. GG. Yeah, with some nice filtering that game too, right? Once upon a time, looking for that red source. Coming up a little short. I think I got one more in me right now. My back's starting to burn a little bit.